Okay, I hope this lecture video finds you all well. In it, I'm going to discuss the peer review process, which for the time being might seem a little convoluted because we're going to have to use a bunch of different sources to make it work. So the first step will be you'll receive one of your peers' papers in an email attached as a document. You'll need to download this document. You won't have the names redacted. I redacted the name here so you can see the student's name for the paper, but you will not have that. You'll actually be able to see the peer's name. One of the reasons for this, some of you might not like this idea, but the truth is that a good piece of writing has multiple audiences beyond the teacher itself. And so the peer review aspect of it uh, means that you should know who is writing what. It's important also to be aware of the fact that you will have an audience with differing viewpoints. So once you've received this document, your next step is to actually read through the essay. Now, early in the semester, you've received documents called Things That Make Writing Teachers Cringe and How to Say Nothing in 500 Words, and there have been video lectures related to that content. Now, you need to apply that content to your analysis of this essay. And as you're reading the essay, I want you to use something in Microsoft Word called Review, which I just clicked on, and you see how it has comments. So we can look at the paper itself, and we can find issues where there's comment problems. Where there's comment problems, problems we can comment on, like here, for example. This is a bit of a reaching statement, so we line up on that. This statement, this is a bit of overstatement that shows bias. And then we look for things like the everyday student goes to school and focuses on mostly their grades. Since we have a singular student, we should have a singular pronoun, you know, the whole pronoun antecedent issue. So we would come in here, we'd highlight this, and we'd put pronoun antecedent. Always misspell that, issue. And if you misspell something, you can always go in and use spell checks till they're correct. Anything else you come up with on that, you know, you go in, student top, this statement here, a student athlete is the top person on campus. That's debatable, so you would need to highlight that whole thing. I'm messing things up here. And you'd basically use Things That Make Writing Teachers Cringe and How to Say Nothing in 500 Words, and your knowledge of grammar and your knowledge of organization and citation to deal with issues in here. You would look for citations. Like, we don't see our first citation in here until here. And it's actually an incorrect citation. So I don't know why it keeps doing that, but you might run into that trouble too. So we'd go in here and we'd click incorrect citation, MLA error. Now remember, these are all pass-fail. So after you've done this and you've made all your comments, you'd save as, make sure you save to the desktop, and you'd save it as essay 1 with comments, and you'd submit it to the appropriate Dropbox for peer review. Now your peer may actually get this sent back to them an email, because everybody should have the chance to revise. But the next step you're going to do is you're going to actually go in here and use this document called the peer evaluation process. I've already set up the boxes for you to type your names in. And your section will probably be an 80 or an 83 if you're online and you're watching this video. And then you'll go through here and you'll select some things, and the way you do this is you're going to actually use the highlighting tool. So we're going to pick highlight, and I'm going to say the tone does not fit things that make writing teachers cringe. But I am going to say the content follows guidelines set by How to Say Nothing in 500 Words. I'm going to say there are many grammar and mechanical issues. And that the format is not standard MLA. So now, after doing that, I would type in this box some of the reasons I say that. I'd get rid of that highlighting color. And I type some of the reasons I say that. The first citation appears in the third paragraph and it is incorrect. There are a number of pronoun antecedent errors. Distracting, sweeping statements that assume the superiority of student athletes are also problematic. Now you want to make sure you've gone through and corrected your grammar on this. Notice I'm not writing too much, just a little bit, so that they get some ideas for revision. And I'm going to save this as the student's name, which we'll call the student for the time being. We'll call them John Smith, Essay 1 completed, peer rubric. And then I would submit these to the Dropbox for peer review that's going to appear on under content. So if you notice right now, since I'm teaching just a face-to-face class, I have on week 2 has some information about things that make writing teachers cringe, the peer review process, evaluating your own writing and revision, but there's no Dropbox here, and these documents are not in here yet. They will be placed in there shortly for my 1301 online, and a Dropbox will be placed there for students to submit those things to. So I hope this video helps with the revision process and self-evaluation process, and helps you better understand the process as for doing the peer review. There's one more thing that we need to talk about. We have the essay here. I'm going to take off the review, go back to home. What I want you to do, so it's simplified for us, is we're going to go here, we're going to find the complete rubric, we're going to highlight everything we typed here, and then we're going to actually paste it here so that it's in one document. And then I'm going to save this as peer review. So that way it's one document, and now I can submit this single document to that Dropbox, and it'll be easy to submit. It should be here, but it might be in the English 1301 file. So let me set up a Dropbox real quick. It's only going to take me a minute. Alright, so we've got that. We're going to say peer review. Now we'll get a little window into how these are set up. Of course, we're moving over to Blackboard, so the setup will be a little different once that is done. So now we have this Dropbox there for week 2. We're going to move that Dropbox because you can see it's all the way at the bottom. We're going to move it up to here, which is where the video would also go. I need to edit this and say for Essay 1, and then the next unit you'll have one for Essay 2. Alright, so I hope this short video helps with this process. Again, email me if you have any questions. I'm always here for answers, or I'll try my best to answer if the questions are specific enough. It's a pretty straightforward process. So again, I'll email out a paper as an attachment to you. Another student's paper, you'll go through filling out that form and doing some review comments. You don't have to go super in-depth, just enough to recognize some of the issues and things that make writing teachers cringe, how to say nothing in 500 words, basic grammar, and basic MLA. This will also help you be a better writer. So the process is really really helpful, I'm finding, in my face-to-face classes. So hopefully its helpfulness will transfer over to an online class. So